So this is why God kept you single all this time. Not because there is something wrong with you, not because you are unlovable or too much or not enough, but because the thing you have been carrying your whole life, this weight you have been dragging through every almost relationship, every situationship that fizzled out, every person who looked right on paper but felt wrong in your chest, right here. That weight isn't a flaw, it's an assignment. And God has been protecting it like a vault, because He knows what happens when someone unqualified get access to what you are carrying. You know exactly what I'm talking about. That feeling you get when you are around certain people, that subtle dimming that happens in your chest, that heaviness that settles over your spirit after you have spent time with them. You have experienced it. The way your clarity gets foggy, the way your dreams start feeling harder to reach, the way your prayers feel like they are hitting a ceiling. And you have always blamed yourself. You thought you were too sensitive, too picky, too complicated. But what if that sensitivity isn't a bug in your system? What if it's a feature designed specifically for your survival? Because the truth is, not everyone is equipped to be close to you. Not because you are better than anyone else, but because what you carry requires a certain kind of person to hold it without dropping it. Think about the last time you met someone who seemed perfect at first. The chemistry was electric, the conversation flowed. You could feel the potential humming between you. And then something shifted. Maybe it was a comment that landed wrong, a subtle energy that started to feel like a drain instead of a feel. And you told yourself you were overthinking. You told yourself to give it a chance. But deep down, you felt it. You knew. And that knowing that this wasn't right for you, even when everything on the surface said it should be. The knowing isn't your anxiety talking, that's your protection system activating. And every time you ignored it, every time you pushed through that feeling because you were afraid of being alone, you ended up emptier than you started. That's not coincidence. That's the cost of letting the wrong person access what only the right person is meant to touch. Here is what most people don't want to understand about singleness. It's not a waiting room. It's a refining chamber. When you are single, you have something incredibly rare. You have uninterrupted access to your own internal world. You can hear yourself think. You can feel what you actually feel without someone else's emotions bleeding into yours. You can sense what God is actually saying without the static of another person's opinion in your ear. And that clarity is precious. That clarity is what He's been protecting all this time. Because when you are in the middle of a relationship, especially one that's not aligned, fully aligned, your attention gets divided. Your energy gets siphoned. Your focus gets fragmented. And for someone carrying the kind of purpose you are carrying, that fragmentation isn't just inconvenient, it's dangerous. There is a reason certain relationships in your life have ended abruptly. There is a reason people you thought would be a permanent suddenly disappeared. There is a reason you have had to watch connections unravel because they even, before they even had the chance to take root. You thought it was a rejection. You thought you must have done something wrong. But what if those endings were not failures? Just think about it. What if they were rescues? God saw something you couldn't see. He saw the spiritual weight that person was carrying. He saw the agenda they didn't even know they had. He saw how their presence in your life would have compromised what He is building in you. And in His mercy, He removed them. Not because you were not good enough, but because He refuses to let anything dilute what He's placed inside you. Just think about it. This is the part that's hard to accept. The part where you have to trust the no. The part where you have to believe that every unanswered prayer for a partner is actually an answered prayer for protection. Because what you are carrying is too valuable to be contaminated. Your energy fuels your assignment. Every act of kindness you give, every word you speak that shifts atmospheres, every prayer you pray that moves things in the spiritual realm, it all draws from that reservoir. It all allow the people, wrong people, constant access to it. You will find yourself running to empty. That's why God has been guiding you. That's why He's kept you hidden from certain people to protect you. That's why some potential connections never even make it to the first conversation. He's been posting angels, posting at the gates at your destiny, and no one gets through unless they have clearance. You've probably noticed this happening in your friendships too. You are sensitive to the presence of negativity. You can feel when someone's motives are not clear. You pick up on hidden agendas, jealousy, gossip that doesn't even involve you. And you have wondered why you cannot be normal about it. Why you cannot just brush things off like other people seem to. That sensitivity is your radar. That's the discernment God has been shaping in your singleness. And that same radar that warns you in friendships will be even more crucial when it comes to choosing a life partner. Because their own relationship will not just hurt your feelings. It will choke you. It will fog your vision. It will distort your ability to hear what God is saying. And that's why God will not let you settle. Here's something else you need to hear. Your singleness has been serving a dual purpose. While you are being protected from what would harm you, you're also being prepared for what's meant for you. What's meant for you. This season isn't just about avoiding the wrong person. It's about becoming the right person, the person who can sustain a healthy relationship when it comes to meet that person, the person who doesn't need another human to feel whole, the person who can stand strong with or without companionship. That's the version of you that's being forged right now, in the quiet, in the waiting, in the loneliness that feels like it will never end. And I know it's hard. I know you have looked around and seen other people meeting, marrying, building lives together while you are still in your single season. But their process isn't your process. Their calling isn't your calling. And their preparation isn't your preparation. Think about what you have been able to build in your solitude that you wouldn't have been able to find, to build in a relationship. The skill you have developed, the depth you've cultivated, the ability you've gained to be present with yourself, the healing you've done that no one else could have done for you, the emotional maturity you've developed through being tested in the fire of your own loneliness. Every time you felt like you were falling apart and had to put yourself back together, you were being strengthened. Every night you've spent wrestling with God in your own thoughts, you're building a foundation of faith that no storm can shake. Every time you've learned to be okay with being alone, you were creating the capacity to never cling to anyone out of desperation again. And that's the thing. When you enter your next relationship, you will enter it from a place of abundance, not scarcity. You will not be looking for someone to complete you because you will already be whole. You will not be looking for someone to save you because you will already be saved. You will not be looking for someone to give you purpose because you will already be walking in it. Instead, you will meet someone who is also whole, someone who's been in their own refining season, someone who's been prepared just as you have been prepared. And when the two of you come together, it will not be two halves making a whole. It will be two wholes making something even bigger than themselves. That's the union God is setting up for you. And that's why He's been patient with both of you. He's been patient, yeah. I want you to let this sink in. Just think about it. Every relationship that didn't work out, every door that slammed shut, every person who walked away, it all pushed you closer to where you are supposed to be. It stripped away distractions. It clarified your vision. It brought you to a place where you could hear Him more clearly. That wasn't failure. That was alignment. God has been building a version of you that can stand strong no matter what. And part of that building has been teaching you the difference between connection and entanglement, because they are not the same thing. Connections are healthy. It's mutual. It's honoring. Entanglement is what happens when you are bound to someone in ways that drain you, confuse you, and keep you tied to cycles you have outgrown. You might have heard the term soul ties. And maybe you've dismissed it as religious speech, religious jargon. And what it really means is that intimacy creates bonds that go beyond the physical. It creates bonds that connect your spirit to another person's. And a soul tie with the wrong person can fog your vision, distort your hearing when God speaks, and keep you tethered to patterns you thought you'd broken. That's why God has been so protective over you in this area. He will not allow you to be entangled in bonds that weaken your ability to fulfill what you are here to do. He loves you too much for that. There is also this: you are not lost living your own story. You are rewriting a history that's been passed down in your bloodline for generations. The patterns you've seen in your family when it comes to relationships, marriage, loyalty, trust, love, those are not accidents. Some of them are cycles that have been repeated because no one before you had the knowledge, the strength, or the anointing to stop them. But you do. You are the one God has chosen to break those chains. And that heavy work, that's work that cannot be done halfway. This work can require your faith, attention, focus, obedience. And if you are distracted by a relationship that wasn't aligned, you might miss the window to do what you are here to do. Think about what you have learned to see that others in your family couldn't see. You can identify dysfunction now. You can recognize what's unhealthy before it gets too deep. You can feel when something is off, even when it looks right on the surface. That's not just personal preference, that's the Spirit of God inside you, refusing to repeat history. And it's taken singleness to give you the clarity and space to heal from wounds you didn't even cause. The pain you are dealing with may have started before you were born, but you are the one who's going to finish it. So what does it look like to steward this season well? It looks like pressing in. It looks like leaning into the work God is doing in you instead of running from it. It looks like letting Him expose the parts of you that need healing. The pride, the impatience, the self-doubt, the hidden wounds you've been carrying. It looks like letting Him teach you emotional maturity, self-control, patience, the ability to manage your reactions and master your emotions. It looks like letting Him raise your standards, not in a prideful way, but in a way that aligns with your worth and your calling. It looks like letting Him cleanse you from unhealthy desires and mindsets and coping mechanisms that you have carried that into previous relationships. And it looks like trusting that the delay isn't denial. One day you are going to look back on this season and see it clearly. You're going to realize, believe me, you're going to realize that the version of you who started this season could have handled the blessing that's waiting for you. You are going to thank God for the time He took to shape you. You're going to see that every lonely night, every tear, every unanswered question, it was all working something in you that needed to be worked. And the beauty of it is the partner God is preparing for you is going through the same thing. They are being shaped right now too. They are being healed. They are being sharpened. They are being prepared to love you in a way no one else ever could. And when you meet, it will not be forced. There will not be any striving. There won't be any begging for signs. Anything about the timing and alignment will just confirm itself. Conversations will flow. Your spirit will resonate spirits. Your purposes will naturally intertwine. You are not behind. You are exactly where God needs you to be in this season. And the enemy wants you to believe you are missing out that life is passing you by, that you are somehow defective because you are still single. But the truth is, you are ahead of the curve because you are letting the master builder prepare you before your house gets built. Many people rush into love without this foundation and pay the price later. They get attached too quickly. They compromise themselves. They settle for something that looks like what they want, but ends up costing them everything. But you are not them. Your patience isn't wasted. It's sowing seeds into your future. And the harvest will be worth every single day you chose to trust instead of settle. Every single day you let God keep working instead of running ahead. Every single day you honor this season instead of wishing it away. So here's what I want you to know. The love that's waiting for you is real. And it's not just about companionship. It's about destiny. You are not waiting for someone to love you. You are waiting for someone to walk with you in purpose. Someone who will understand your calling, respect your boundaries, honor your spirit, and cherish your presence. Someone who will not be intimidated by your light, but will protect and nurture it. And together you will be a testimony of what God can do when the two people submit their relationship to Him. That's the plan. And that's why God kept you single all this time. Not because He's forgotten you, but because He has something so much better in store than anything you could have settled for.